Hello everyone, I am Anirudh Tiwari, Director and Chief Mentor of Dronacharya Civil Services Academy. Welcome to our YouTube channel where we provide resources and guidance to those who want to become civil servants. We discuss today is strategy for interview. This is the very important stage after main examination because post allotments depends on main and interview marks and your preference. सो इंटरव्यू का बहुत महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका है। यदि आप यहाँ पर अच्छा इंटरव्यू में परफॉर्म करते हैं तो निश्चित रूप से आपके रैंक इंप्रूवमेंट होता है। नाउ वी डिस्कस इंटरव्यू। द इंटरव्यू इज द लास्ट स्टेज ऑफ द सिविल सर्विसेज एग्जामिनेशन। इवन इफ यू आर ए बिगिनर, you should mold your mental outlook from the very beginning. If you get the fundamentals of interview right, it will help you develop the art of thinking, understanding and analyzing things in a better way. Also, it will augur well for the development of an all-rounded personality. Going through the detailed application form DAF. DAF is the full form of detailed application form. You know about to DAF how important rationale of DAF, important details in DAF. In DAF application form, mention personal details, educational qualification, employment details, hobby details, order of preferences details. Going through the DAF, how important? First questions, rationale of DAF. The personality test means interview aims at assessing whether a candidate's personality is suitable for a career in civil services. The candidate is tested for intelligence, attentiveness, balance of judgment and human qualities like honesty, integrity and leadership. The Kothari committee constituted by the UPSC has listed the qualities that should be rated in personality test. They are H, clarity of expressions, reasoning ability, appreciation of different points of view, awareness and concern for socio-economic problems, range and depth of interests and personal attributes relevant to interaction with people. The DAF contains all relevant information related to a candidate and is used by the interview board for an overall assessment to determine the candidate's suitability. Important details in DAF. First is personal details. This may lead to a variety of queries. For instance, the origin of your name, the significance of your birthday, historically, the city or town where you were born, the state you call home, etc. If you choose an exam location that is uncommon, you might need to defend your decision. If you indicate in your DAF that you are from Mumbai and attended school there but have picked Delhi as your center, they will be intrigued about your decision and will want you to provide a solid justification. You should be ready to respond to questions about your optional, particularly if it is not the field in which you have a degree. If you have changed your optional subject, you should be ready for questions as to why you did that. They might ask the importance of your optional subject for civil services. Next is educational qualification. The interview panel may ask you a number of questions about your academic accomplishments and the colleges you have attended. If you have excelled academically, they will quiz you about your motivation for joining the civil service. Additionally, if your academic achievement is poor, they will search for explanations. Such queries should always be answered fairly and honestly. If you try to influence them, you can find yourself before the board in a hopeless scenario. How you plan to use your specialized knowledge in the public services can be questioned. Next is employment details. If you doing to any kind of jobs, so mentions employment details. If you have been employed earlier or you continue to be employed at the time of the interview, then you will be asked a lot on your job profile and your responsibilities. Next is hobby details. Important lines. You must pursue the goal that you genuinely enjoy the activities and interests you have listed. If you attempt to manipulate a pastime without having real interests in it, your ultimate grade may suffer. For instance, in a real IAS interview or state PCS interview, a candidate mentioned that he enjoyed teaching the locals in a Madhya Pradesh village. The board chairman first praised it as a good hobby before beginning to fire questions. He said that he goes in the morning. When asked that when asked what time he would go and teach the people, then the chairman countered him by telling him that how can he meet farmers in the morning time when most of them will be away in the fields of rearing their cattle or doing other farming activities. Then he tried to make another bluff and he got into a real awkward situation. He was given exceptionally low marks. So, whatever your hobby may be, you need to make a mark on the board by defending it in a most genuine way. Next is order of preferences details. If you make some unusual preferences, for example, IPS over IAS or IRS over IPS, then they will ask for a suitable reason. You should convince them with a proper explanation. Next is guidelines to defend DAF. Guidelines to defend DAF. Gathering information on the information you have entered in the DF takes a lot of time. So don't hold it off till the mains results. Start early with your DA preparation. Talk to competent people as you prepare for interviews. Therefore, pick a trustworthy mentor who can offer you genuine advice. Self study will not be very effective in interview preparation. During the interview, be sincere. Honesty in your defense of your DAF will make your interview secure and commendable. Now, how to prepare for interview? How to prepare for interview? First, firstly, current affairs and social issues, note making, television, internet, books, advice of scenarios. Sorry, advice of seniors. Begin your preparation early, preferably within a fortnight or a month of completion of the main examination. Do not wait for the results of the examination. If you could not do so in this window of the time, then begin at the earliest. The first phase of preparation can start with a more passive reading of newspapers and magazines. Current affairs and social issues. The central focus of the interviews is frequently a topic of significant national, international, and even regional or local consequence. Having a firm understanding of these difficulties is crucial. However, in interview topics, their appreciation and analysis are more important than only data and figures. Such topics are frequently found on the editorial page of the best national dailies. We should be carefully read and understood. Aspirants must read one or two national dailies to broaden the scope of their preparation. Next is note making. Note making, it should be succinct and really precise. After reading an article, one must pause and consider whether it is relevant to them. If so, is it worthwhile to take a note, or can I sum up the article in my head and potentially remember it till the interview stage? Do I agree with the idea presented in the article? Why not? Always make an effort to analyze the expressed position. Is the point of view consistent with logic and reasoning? Does it fit within the legal and constitutional framework? How does it affect the greater benefit of our country and its citizens? Create your own perspective on topics. Identify the most important points which the article is emphasizing upon. Note such 3 to 5 silent points in a small notebook, spiral pad, memo page of your smartphone. Revise them whenever you catch a few moments of spare time during the day. Next is television. Television is a valuable preparation tool as well. However, use caution when deciding what and how much television to watch. On national stations like Doordarshan, Rajya Sabha TV, Lok Sabha TV, etc., prime time news is advised. Watch for programs that features the idea and opinions of renowned individuals. All India Radio, FM Gold is a solid alternative, as are shows like News at 9, Market Month, an economic news program, and Spotlight, a news analysis program. Next is Internet. Internet has become a practical solution for everything mentioned above and more. While working on projects related to one's personal profile, internet resources are fairly helpful in addition to reading newspaper, periodicals, watching or hearing news programs, etc. Furthermore, it is simple to keep useful content in short form or build key article capsules, but use caution. Surfing the internet can sometimes be time consuming. Next is books. Reading good literatures, especially non-fictions, is a great way to expand your mental horizon during this stage of preparation. Additionally, keep an eye out for books that are specifically related to your interests, hobbies, location, or even the field of your present job or employment. Next, advice of seniors. Keep an eye out for opportunities to network with previous year's top candidates as well as specialists, elders, etc. in the subject matter of your professions or studies. Additionally, you can read the blogs of previous year's toppers. In particular, if one has prior experience with such an interview program or the UPSC interview itself, joining a coaching institute or mentoring program for the interview is not required. However, such programs could bring some value for beginners. To avoid it becoming a burden on your neck, only enroll with the recommendation of a candidate or someone with first-hand knowledge of the coaching institute or guidance program. Appearing in the interview board. Things you should know before the interview, during the interview, when and what to speak. Before the interview, get enough sleep the night before the interview. Eat your breakfast in the morning before heading to the event. On the day of the interview, clear your head concerning yourself with the questions you will be asked can lead to confusion and a loss of focus. Understand the panel board. You can prepare better interview replies by reading more about how to comprehend the panel. During the interview, be assured your body language communicates a lot about you, starting from the minute you enter the room to how to greet the panel and how you sit and speak. You will be welcomed by the chairperson. When you go in, give greeting in return and do the same for the other panelists. Sit upright in the chair with feet planted firmly on the floor and hands flat on the thighs. Pay attention and keep your mind sharp when giving an answer. Keep looking at the board member who asked the question. When and what to speak, rather than merely considering yourself as a regular citizen, consider how a government worker could respond and what they might think. While preparing for the interview, one learns a tremendous amount about the nation and the rest of the world, which contributes to the development of a special perspective. When interacting with the panel, use kind words and subtle phrasing. Try not to think negatively about things. Provide succinct and direct responses. Do not mince words. Simply state your position. Not knowing the answers to a question is acceptable. It is much better to just admit ignorance to the panel than to invent an explanation or become overly fixated on it. You may be asked to solve a puzzle or provide an answer that uses nothing but your common sense. Do not be hesitate to share your views and opinions provided they are backed by good reason. You can be assertive and confident, but only to extent that helps the panel understand your perspective. Do not enter into an argument with the panel over any issue. Do not lie or boast unnecessarily. Do not quote facts and figures that you are unsure of. Not knowing the answer to a question is acceptable. It is much better to just admit ignorance to the panel than to invent an explanation or become overly fixated on it. Lastly, last point of view, uh, respect to interview, how to develop problem solving attitude and how to develop your analytical abilities. How to develop problem solving attitude? Possessing a problem solving mindset is one of the best traits you can have as a civil servant as well as UPSC, CSC candidates. Candidate for the civil services, much like the officers they will become after passing the civil services examination, must handle a variety of issues and difficulties during the preparation phase and find creative solution to them. During your preparation phase, you may run across issues dealing with a lengthy syllabus, time management, resources, peer pressure, societal pressure, and many more. While you deal with all these issues, you tend to develop gradually the required understanding and ability to dissect and analyze. This will form the foundation of a problem solving attitude in you. Your propensity for problem solving will be particularly helpful in creating solutions during such trying circumstances. You will develop a never give up mentality towards issues as a result. How to develop your analytical ability? When attempting to learn more about a certain topic, make sure to learn every details and attempt to apply it to other topics. If you are reading a section of history, it is not necessary to only explain it using historical concepts. You can also explain it using geographical, sociological, political, and if possible economic perspectives. You can also try to explain it using any current affairs topic that is relevant to that section. In other words, you will profit more from this place, and today's UPSC wants this from you. The more views you can relate to the thing for. Focus on the basic concept on the current affairs properly, and according to that try to relate to the current scenario of your surroundings, or try to explain those in details with whatever you have gathered from your books or from current affairs. Increase the area of your thinking power. All the best for interview. Thank you.